So, so, hey guys, good evening, good morning, whatever you want to call it. So, this is just welcome to the We Know Nothing show. Now, the funny thing is about the beginning of this, and the compadre, the compatriot, the partner in crime will tell you we've been trying this for 4 weeks now, and no success
Four
whatsoever. And then,
fun fucking weeks.
and last night, heaven behold, we stumbled across young Ed going on his PC and a little button called the record button
And it works.
and a little voice in our ears. This meeting is now being recorded. Oh, so we've wasted 4 weeks of his wonderful lives, but we're here. So literally, guys, all this show is about is just a couple of lads just having a laugh, talking about something that we think we know absolutely nothing about. And yeah, just really, this is just going to be just a lead up to the Euro, like what's happened in the Euro so far with the home nations, and obviously what's happened, and then depending on how it goes, we are looking to do it into the season next year. So yeah, so here we go. Enjoy. Like I said, no negativity, just just positive vibes, please. It's still, like I said, it's just a laugh. We're just
Yeah.
getting involved. So yeah, enjoy.
So we'll start off with obviously the three home nations, and like we said already, we were gonna start this 4 weeks ago, but it never really got round to it. So if we start off with Wales and how Wales did in the group, obviously three fixtures, drew one, won one, lost one. Um, not not a bad outcome to be fair. Finished second in group behind Italy, um, who have arguably Italy have arguably been one of the standout performers of the tournament so far, with their
Yeah,
style of play. Um, so Wales finished second in their group and went through. Then you've got Scotland England group. So going to Scotland first, lost two, drew one. Um, uh, yeah, lost two, drew one. They got beat 3-1 off Croatia in the final game. Um, and then so they went out in the group stage, and then on to England, who won two and drew one. Arguably not our greatest performances in that, but I think personally, I think he used it as a bit of a build up for these next two games that we'll go into in a second. And we finished top of the group. So England, Wales through at that point. Um, yeah, that was great. I don't know why she went through so slowly. Yeah, England, Wales through. Um, Wales get Denmark and get bummed and ended up 4-0 loss. And see you later, Gareth Bale. What can you say about that? Really, it was a nothing performance from Wales, who, Denmark are on the back of the Christian Eriksen and a riding that roller coaster. Great on them, for picking up that mantle. But Wales just didn't turn up, and out they go with um, with Scotland. Big one next, though, isn't there? England, Germany. We battered them. What can I say? I can't say anything much more than that, really. Team that he picked, again, there was loads of question marks over his team that he selected. Winner, 2-0 win. Smashing it, aren't
I think I think let's obviously before we carry on the niceties about England, what we're nice to see during the group stages is a perceived Euro final uh, for our close friends the Scots.
we? Yeah.
It was, I think, Scotland had a major opportunity in that game, and I'll be the first one to say that. Um, I would say they should have beat us. They had the chances. They played a lot. They played with a lot of passion, and I think it was good to see from a neutral point of view, because I think the thing were is that when you look at the talent within the home nations, if you put the squad together from the home nations team, so for instance, let's say you put all 26 squads together, you're looking at it there and you're thinking, like, out of the Wales and Scotland team, who would you put in the English team, and vice versa out of the English team? And
There's
I think
not many getting
we
in
out.
it, is there, apart from England
No,
players, realistically?
exactly, yeah, and I think that's not being derogatory to any footballer within the the European side of Scotland and Wales. I think the biggest thing is I think for Scotland, I think against Croatia, I think the pressure got to them.
They outran themselves against England, didn't they?
Yeah. I think. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'll be honest with you. I think they played really well against us.
I thought we played. I think we're giving Scotland a lot of credit there. We didn't do enough in that game to put Scotland under enough pressure. They did enough to put us under pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
The score finished 0-0, and
for me,
their European Championship was over at that point, really.
Well, I think what they should have done, and I'm a firm believer in momentum and build and then everything. I personally think they should have kicked on from that. That result was a fantastic. Was not a fantastic result. That's a strong word. I think it was a very good result for them.
Yeah.
To go to Wembley and players off the park, not players off the park in the sense of dominate, but they dominated to a point. And I'm a firm believer in momentum, and I think they should have kicked on from that. And I think that Hampden game, they should have gone into that like feeling like $1 million, and unfortunately they didn't. And so I think from a home nation's point of view, I didn't see Denmark beating Wales 4-0. I'll be honest with you, but it
was a big score, wasn't it?
Yeah, in the same instance, I don't think Wales turned up.
No, they didn't. It was a big score, and it arguably flattened Denmark.
Yeah, but in the same instance, though, Denmark in that instance created and took the chances. So you've got to look at it from the point of view of that, really, aren't you? It's got to be a case of you've got to take your chances. Wales didn't really create a lot. But it is what it is. But yeah, onto the Germany game for me. The Germany game really rammed home Southgate's justification and tactics and getting things right and getting things
to change that team, just the odd tweak here and there. And
I mean, to start it with seven defenders. And I suppose if you can't pick for the
defensive players,
they're not
all
defenders.
We've said that quite a bit.
Yeah, but if you include Pickford in that as well, so that's eight defensive-minded players and 3 offensive players. So when I looked at that team straight away, my panic was, and when I watched the game materialised, it was evident to see what he'd done is he just matched them.
He nullified their game.
Yeah, he just said, come at us.
I think
just said, come at us, come and break us down.
When we had a conversation, me and you about it the other night, I think they still managed to get, because of the way that Phillips and Rice played in that game, they still managed to get a player in behind in between the lines, which affected us a little bit at times, but we managed to get the cover on, and we did well with that. There's arguably when we're 1-0 up, the tackle on Sterling and Sterling not quite getting enough on it, and it going through to Muller and him missing an absolute opportunity. Sitter for him.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, of all the players to fall to, you don't want it to fall to.
It's not him you want it to be, is it? But
no,
he pulled it.
But in recent games, for
us to push on, wasn't it?
100% in recent games, though, this is the biggest thing for me. In recent games, that goes against us.
Yeah,
that is one of them where we've just scored, we're absolutely buzzing, and then 2 minutes, like a minute later, it's literally like he's gone through straight away. My head's in my hand, thinking they're going to equalise.
You just see the emotion in Sterling, can't you?
Because he knows. Yeah,
he's dropped. He's stood there like there's nothing I can do at this point. It's so far. Yeah. It's so far on.
But I think Pickford did really, really well in that situation.
He came out. He's made. He went down that and give Muller that side to put it away as well a little bit.
Yeah.
And he
made Muller's. he played the game with Muller in that, I think, because for Pickford, normally with Pickford, he's very erratic,
Yeah.
and for me, I genuinely thought he would come flying out
I
and
think
make the
he's done
job
well
easier
this
for him.
tournament for that, to be honest.
100%, yeah, 100%. He's kept level-headed. I mean, just going back to the chances. When you think about it from an England point of view, like you review if you review the what is it game, the Germany game. Germany had 3 clear-cut chances.
Yeah.
The Werner one, the Werner one in the first half.
Again, he made himself big and got low.
Yeah, got low. The Havertz one, which is straight at him, but it's a fantastic save because it's straight at him. And Havertz caught that as sweet as he could have caught
It's
football.
under the bar, isn't it? He's tipped it over.
Yeah, exactly, and he's tipped it over. And the Muller one. So when you think about that, and I know Germany aren't the same superpower they were, and I know that they're not the same team. However, when you're nullifying a team to 3 clear-cut chances in that retrospect of how good Germany are, you're doing something right. And I think that goes down to Southgate being like tactically spot on with it. Don't get me wrong, I've been his biggest critic in the sense of I do
Team
think he should have.
selection.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but then like this is what, like when we look at it, this is what the show's all about. We know nothing, sure, and it clearly states we know nothing because we've picked.
We're just having a chat, aren't we, about what we
exactly.
feel and how the games went, and we'll move on and talk about you Southgate a little bit more in a few minutes, I feel, and as well as Harry Kane, and the England Germany game is a big one for English people and Germany people. I was only listening to a bit before the game where a German news reporter saying it's just as big there as it is here.
It's massive.
What we should say right now is any England fans watching this right back, Italy and Spain have just gone to extra time as we're recording this. So that's arguably good for England or Denmark on who get through 100%. Next. So 100%. We'll move forward from the Germany game because that's old history now, because since then we've gone on and we've played Ukraine and we battered. We beat Germany and we put in a good performance. The Ukraine game, we battered them, and it was capped off by a player that's been Mr. Consistent throughout his 60-odd games for England and his club, really, of Liverpool. I think Jordan Henderson coming off the bench, scoring a header, picking the ball up in his own box and backheeling it back into play. I don't know if you've seen that, but it's a little bit of showmanship and a bit of me being a bit cocky type thing. But it played. I know playing centre half, I'd have been going ballistic at him if it had gone wrong because you want that clean sheet and doing it there. But it paid off, and it just shows his confidence. And there's a stat going around that he'll be the only English player if they go on and win this that's won the Super Cup, the Champions League, the Premier League, the FA Cup, the League Cup, all these cups. He'll be the only English player that's ever gone on and done it.
And I love that. I love that about him.
It's one of them stats where actually he will probably be one of the only English players that's had the opportunity to play in all of them other competitions.
Exactly.
And then there's not been very many players that have gone on and won a European or World Championship.
No, World Championship Cup. Yeah, exactly. But I really like Henderson. I think what he stands for. I didn't rate him to start with, but the season he had with Liverpool when they won the league, and for me, I do think that if anything ever happens to Harry Kane and he stops playing international football or whatever, for me, Henderson's as captain for me, because I just think I think what he stands for. I mean, is a
he hasn't got many international games left in him. He's getting on a bit, but even still,
and that's the thing. Yeah, even still, I think what he's achieved in his career, when you look at him from the point of view, how like when he was at Sunderland, to go to Liverpool and play with. I think he played with Gerrard and people like that, and it's a big thing.
His game a little bit from, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Gerrard,
absolutely.
I remember watching him play for England under 21s, and was at Middlesbrough's ground, and he was shocking, and people were raving about him being one of the best midfielders that this country's ever going to have. And you at that point you just couldn't see it. It wasn't there. But he's gone on to Liverpool and managed to, under a number of different managers now, managed to progress and be arguably one of the first choices on the team sheet at Liverpool. And you know, he probably would have been one of the first choices on Gareth Southgate's team sheet, I would think.
Yeah,
if he hadn't been injured towards the end of it. And, 4-0 was amazing. Like,
great result.
It is.
Can't ask any better.
There's another stat that's been going around today. England have only made the semi-finals of an international competition 6 times. And Gareth Southgate has got us to 2. And people are saying that he's not the manager to take England forward.
Yeah, exactly.
He is the manager to take England forward. There's no 2 ways about it. Again, Harry Kane, did he start off really well in the first 3 games? Everyone was calling for his head. I wasn't one of them, to be perfectly honest. I stood by him. He was injured at the end of the season, just like Jordan Henderson. The difference is he's the England captain. The difference is you give him sort of that opportunity. He's banging him in training. Give him that opportunity and he's going to score. Luckily, we've had Raheem Sterling to knock them single goals in and win us a game. And
get us through the group. And
that's what them players are there for. But Harry Kane does a different job. He is there for goals, but he's your team captain. He rallies around the lads at half time, at the start of the game, in training. And then he's a figurehead in that.
Dressing
in the
room
middle of that park.
And
he might not seem like he's doing loads, but you can't actually see that much of the pitch when you're watching it on a television. So if you're not there, then he's proven people wrong in the last 2 games, hasn't he?
Absolutely.
He gets his 1 goal against Germany.
Yeah, and that would have boosted his confidence straight away.
And then 2 against Ukraine, and arguably the first it's one of them where he switched off a little bit and then back into life and scored a goal.
Back in, it's an instinct, and then his second one is just bread and butter for him. All day a week and twice on Sundays for stuff.
And then he's not far away with that
volley
where he bangs it down keeper's throat, does it? So it moves a little bit. It's not.
Yeah, some strike that. But that's his confidence. So that's him saying. And I think to start with, just to like touch on the Harry Kane situation. Don't get me wrong. I was one of the players, the lads, the so-called tactician that wanted to take him out, because when I was just looking at him, his body language was shocking. His first touch was really bad. He weren't doing the things that you'd expect from an all Harry Kane, and I think
he's done that in the last 2 games, though, hasn't he? Now,
no, exactly, and and that's the thing. And I think what's happened with him is either there's 2 things. What's probably happened. One is 100% it's happened. That goal has absolutely woke him up and been like, "Hang on, I'm Harry Kane. I'm England's captain. I'm here. I'm at this tournament."
It was further down the line in the Germany game when he got that goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But he did have a better game. He did have a better game against Czech Republic, and then the game against Germany, he was showing glimpses of getting into that drive.
He was a bit more
getting into his game. Yeah, getting into his game. I think
it's game time, isn't it?
Yeah, probably. I mean,
that's what I said about
Henderson
Gareth
plays like that, and Maguire
used the group stage as warm-up games for them next round.
It's a catalyst for him. It's a catalyst for me. When you look at when you say the name Harry Kane, it's just goals. He's just a goal machine, and he started banging them in at the right time. Now, Patrick Schick and Cristiano Ronaldo. I think Ronaldo's got 4 or 5. Patrick Schick has got 4 or 5 goals. Now, realistically, you're looking at a player that can catch him, and Harry Kane. All Harry Kane needs to do is get 2 more goals in his next game, or the next 2 games, and he's all of a sudden he's challenging. He's got maybe the joint golden boot, and I think that's the beauty of having a Kane. I think sometimes his game is.
People wanted 2 and 3 goals in the first 3 games. Like, not even out of 3 games. They wanted 2 goals against Croatia. They wanted 2 goals against Scotland. They wanted 2 goals against the Czech Republic. They wanted him to go and win it single-handedly and score a hat-trick against Germany, because it's what we do with our England strikers. It's what we do with that main English player. We wanted David Beckham to go and score 1,000 free kicks to get us to a World Cup final, or win a World Cup, or win a European Cup. We wanted Alan Shearer to bang in 12 penalties, because that's what he could do. Don't get me wrong, Alan Shearer did a lot more than just doing that, but
of course.
Do you know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
You Paul Gascoigne to, have his head up and dribble his way through teams and score goals like he did against Scotland and stuff like that. And as British people, as English people, we put that pressure on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
on
absolutely.
Our football team.
I think when you look at it from a point of view as a footballing nation, I think we just want the reflection of Harry Kane as a Premier League striker. We just want the reflection of a.
He was injured. We've got to remember.
No, he was. He
was
injured. Yeah.
So he's taken sort of the first 3 games as warm-up games and got back into it, and then.
And as well, what you've got to remember as well, and I for one, over the last couple of days, have sort of realised it in the spin of things, is that the manager changed at Tottenham.
Yeah.
Ryan Mason came in, and I know for a fact Ryan Mason changed Harry Kane's sort of style of play, because Mourinho would get him to drop, and then the players were around him. So Mourinho would tell him to drop, but then Mason has then come in and changed the style a little bit. So all this, like, you've just had 2 seasons where you've had probably one of the best managers of our era telling you to drop, and then you've got Ryan Mason saying you need to stay in that area, to speak.
But also that we've just had COVID, man. Like.
Well, exactly, and we've just had that.
It's been a compressed season. It's not.
Yeah, of course.
It's not been spread out over the full season.
For me, it's a null and void season. For me, I don't think there was any advantage last season or anything like that. And I think Harry Kane is now. He's woke up. He's at this Euros, and
where does he go?
He'll just go on.
Let's ask that question. One quick question before we move on.
I think personally he stays. Because the reason why I think he'll stay is because I think he'll give Nuno 1 season. I think he'll give Nuno.
I don't think they've gone and got a big enough manager for him to stay.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, what you've got to remember is
he would have gone last season if they hadn't fetched in Jose Mourinho.
Yeah, I agree with the manager situation, but the thing is with it is economically, I don't care what Manchester City say. Manchester City aren't going to go and spend £150 million on Harry Kane, and the players that have been muted in exchange to go to Tottenham have all come out individually and said, we are not going to Tottenham. Raheem Sterling. See, now what I would have said with United, if United wouldn't have signed Sancho, then I would have said potentially he would have gone there. But
the thing with Kane is, and this is the same with, the big names that used to move around, Man United make money hand over fist on sales shirts.
Oh yeah, of course, of course. And Kane,
you sign a Harry Kane, you make that transfer money back in weeks.
Tenfold. Look at Pogba, look at Ibrahimovic when they signed him.
Yeah,
the shirt sales, but
bought the player at the end of the day. So
I honestly think
if I was the Manchester United owner, I would be going and getting him. I'd be offering, your Anthony Martial, trying to get him out the door, because he's not a Manchester United player. He's not a Manchester United player. And, I'm not a Man United fan, but I know a few of them. And I think they would all say that he's not really that Manchester United player.
Exactly. But I think what you've got to remember, though, with it is that I think the Sancho deal will have a bearing on that, because I personally think what will happen now
Could you imagine, though, I know they've got Mason Greenwood coming through, who is arguably.
What that's what I'm saying. That's my point. What they will do with Greenwood now is they will put Greenwood up top, not up top to start, but they will let Greenwood learn off Cavani.
Yeah.
And they'll turn Greenwood into an out-and-out striker, and Sancho
that's what
will take Greenwood's place.
Could you imagine putting Harry Kane, who's still got arguably that prime of his career left, to go and work alongside Cavani at Manchester United
and Greenwood and Greenwood as
and
well.
Still have Greenwood, who's 20-year-old, to then once Kane's on his way out that door, you've got Greenwood automatically there.
Yeah, I just think economically, I don't think. I think from a business point of view, I think Daniel Levy will make it as hard as possible for anyone to sign him. I think I'd like to think that Harry Kane has come out, and I think he did the sort of thing with Gary Neville, and he more or less alluded to that there was sort of a gentleman's agreement with him and Levy about if he wants to leave. But it's got to make business sense for Tottenham as well, because it's all well and good Tottenham selling Harry Kane for 130 million.
It makes business sense if Man United offer 90 million Anthony Martial.
Well, this is what I mean. So from Tottenham's point of view, if somebody, say like City, just think, you know what, fuck it, here's 140 million, and Daniel Levy's thinking, like, yeah, all right, there's 140 million, fantastic, right? Can Tottenham then go and sign someone to replace him?
Well,
that's the thing.
They get Martial, who's not a bad player, don't get me wrong, he's just not a Manchester United player. You know?
I don't rate him at all. I don't think he's a good player.
So who can they? You know, they can go out.
That's what I'm saying. But that's the problem, though. I don't think.
To be fair, you could probably go to Barcelona and buy any one of their players at the minute, because
I was just going to say,
they're in a whole world of hurt, by the way.
Yeah. They could probably go to Barcelona and say, right, we'll take Aguero off your hands, or we'll take Depay off your hands and stuff. But yeah,
they're not even for me. Hands. They can't.
No, exactly. They can't register him. Yeah, exactly.
And Lionel Messi's contract's run out, so they can't register him either.
You can't re-sign him. No, they can't re-sign him. But I think tomorrow against Denmark, I think you're going to see a very, very professional, very workmanlike performance. And
so I've got two more questions for you.
Okay.
How good has Sterling been at this tournament so far?
I would say Sterling has come out of a bit of a dark period at Manchester City. He didn't get a lot of game time with Manchester City last season.
Not towards the end of the season.
No. Yeah, he played. I think the thing is with Sterling is what you need to remember with him is that he is a very good player, and I think the fact that you look at his achievements and his breakthrough with Liverpool, and then you look at him and his achievements, what he's achieved with City, league titles.
Isn't it amazing how you slightly forget that he was with Liverpool?
Well, that's what I mean, and I think Liverpool were his catalyst. Liverpool were his like rocket ship, and obviously he's got jumped on that rocket ship, gone to City, and I just think that you don't become a bad player overnight. And I think, don't get me wrong, going into this tournament, I did not want him to start. For me, probably 99.9%. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but when I think
everyone wanted Foden and
Grealish, Foden, players like that. Sancho,
Bellingham.
Yeah, players like that.
So I
but you look at his stats,
be the same of that group. To be fair, that was calling for them players, but I think he's used them in the right way.
Yeah, no, 100%. Look at the stats. Look at the stats for Sterling. You look at the stats for Sterling. They're unbelievable.
But he's unbelievable. He's like Pickford. He's like Pickford.
Yeah.
If you had Nick Pope still would not have played, even with the form that he was in at Burnley.
Yeah, and even though he played the last two group games,
better form than Pickford. Played the last two group games. Go to the Euros and you don't play some, unfortunately. Because Pickford has never let Southgate down, and it's the same 100%. With Sterling. Sterling has never let Southgate down, and it stems from there. So
no, I agree.
So
I agree with that.
What difference has Harry Maguire made?
I think what Harry Maguire has done, he's got us back to the footballing team from the back.
Yeah.
Now, for me, what I will say on this is that Tyrone Mings did not put a foot wrong for me in the first two group games. I think he were very, very good. I think he was solid. I'm not his biggest fan, I'll be honest. But I thought he was very good. I can't fault him. I thought he was very good. And what I love about Maguire is what Maguire has done is Maguire is he's sort of the Rio Ferdinand version of a centre half now, how he steps out from the back and carries the ball forward.
Absolutely.
And I love that from a centre half. I love the fact that a centre half can get on the ball and come forward a little bit and have the confidence. Yeah, and just have the confidence to do, because what that does as a group, a collective, and as a group of players, what that does then is when you've got two holding midfielders, because you're going past one of them holding midfielders, it's registered in that holding midfield to say, right, he's gone forward. I can sit in that gap.
Yeah.
And Declan Rice has been doing that. And I just think from the point of view of what Harry Maguire has done is he's got us playing football from the back.
Yeah.
And we're not afraid to play.
Freed up Luke Shaw down left hand side, hasn't it?
Well, I was just going to say that the biggest thing what has happened for us is that the Luke Shaw Maguire combination at Manchester United has come to the forefront of England, because that's what happens. That's the kind of style they play, and it's been a breath of yeah, absolutely.
Sterling a little bit more. So Sterling,
it's a breath of fresh air. Yeah, it's a breath of fresh air, because you've got to remember, Luke Shaw and Raheem Sterling haven't played a lot of football together.
No.
And
really?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Training. And then, yep, exactly. And you look at them how well they've been playing. Justin and I were watching before the Denmark game started. Before the Denmark game started, I was watching a stat about not like a stat, but a bit of a VT about Sterling and Luke Shaw, and they were a perfect example of what Luke Shaw does for this England team. What Luke Shaw does for someone like Raheem Sterling is that Luke Shaw, against the first goal that we scored against Ukraine on Saturday, Luke Shaw was stood at the edge of the area. And what Luke Shaw did Luke Shaw did a decoy run. And when he went that way, their defender followed him that way. What that did then is that allowed Sterling to go into that space. Yeah. And that allowed Sterling to go into that space and play that ball through to Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Now, yourself as a footballer for 20 plus years, sometimes it's not all about what you do on the ball, it's what you do off the ball.
Yeah.
And I think Luke Shaw and Raheem Sterling have played really, really well.
It reminded me a lot in that last game of the Gary Neville, David Beckham sort of combination, where Gary Neville would just run in straight lines down that wing, and
Beckham would just drop. He'd just sit in for him,
Beckham
or he'd
would
just drop
the ball past him. And just especially for Manchester United, just roll that ball past them. Many a times, Gary Neville's whipped a crossing for people to score, or turn it back and then set David Beckham again, and then. And gone again, and it really did remind me of that. We got who has been your standout player for England, and who has been your standout player for the tournament so far?
My standout player for England is Calvin Phillips. I think to come from a team that came up from the Championship and have the season that he had in the Premier League, and he didn't let it faze him. He just got on with his business and got on. And I love Phillips. He's a destroyer. He smashes people about for fun, and I love that. I love the fact that he's firm. I love the fact that he puts himself about for the cause. And I just want to give a mention to players like John Stones and players like that, because one of the things that I've been impressed with from John Stones in the last 16, 17 months is his ability to not switch off anymore, because that was one of the criticisms of him in his Manchester City career. But I think he's been really good. Pickford again. I mean, my praise would be for Calvin Phillips, just because of his ability to smash people
and then stand out player for the tournament.
Stand out player for the tournament. Oh, God, it's a tough one really, because there's been some superb performances. Spinoza from Italy, the fullback, has been. I thought he was absolutely quality. His energy levels has been unbelievable.
We've got any update on that score? Is it still 0-0? Still 1-1?
Still 1-1, 17 in extra time, 17th minute. Players are starting to drop like flies now with cramp and stuff. So I'm probably going to say it's probably going to finish 1-1 this. But it's a very open, very attacking game. And I think the standout player, I like Pedri from Spain. I think he's very, very good. But it's hard to really do a standout player, because I think the standout, like for me, a standout player is someone that's absolutely.
There hasn't really been. There
hasn't been someone who's really come to the forefront. I think there's been a lot of teams with a lot of good performances. But yeah, I like Chiesa for Italy. He's been good.
He scored a good goal tonight, didn't he?
Yeah, very good goal. Yeah, and I think the but from an English point of view, I think my standout player is Calvin Phillips, just because of his. Yeah, just because of it. He's a no nonsense midfielder, and it's good to see a throwback midfielder. Yeah. You know, a little bit. He can some of the tackles he put in on German players, you could see what it meant to him.
Yeah.
And you could see that like he were ready for that game and stuff. And he's the one that's come out of this. They've all come out of it really good. But, oh, Italy just nearly scored then.
I think I'd like to finish, because we're getting close to the end now. So I think.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I'd like to finish.
Italy have just scored.
No, they haven't.
Italy have just scored. It's offside. Italy have just scored. It's offside. Berardi. Great finish. Let's have a look at it now. It's just. Oh.
So yeah, we'll finish off with. I want to ask you. I'm not sure I understand. We got Denmark next. We go on from Denmark. We get to a World Cup. We get to a European final. Win, lose or draw, these young enough to go to the next one and have another amazing go at it. What do you think? I can't see past how, if we win it, like, we're going to the World Cup as favourites, surely.
I just think
surely we go to world number one. Like, Belgium managed to make it to world number one without
winning anything. So yeah. I don't get it. I think what I will say, if we win this Euro competition, if we win Euros, we have such an amazing opportunity to kick on from this, because of the talent that we've got coming through. Imagine some of them young lads, like, just, it's scary to think, like, because at the World Cup, the biggest criticism that I had for the World Cup is that the squad we had weren't great at all.
Foden is like another 2 or 3 years further down the line with playing with Manchester, playing under Pep Guardiola.
Yeah,
Jack Grealish, who's again another player that's potentially on his way to moving to another club, potentially again Manchester City.
Potentially.
So getting to play under Pep Guardiola. So
and the players around him,
and arguably the best player, one of the best players in the world that's ever played, Lionel Messi, has played under Pep Guardiola. So
So yeah, no, I agree. I think there is potential. Undoubtedly, there's potential there. And yeah, you look at it from the point of view of them players: Foden, Grealish, Bellingham, Mount, Saka, Rice, Sancho.
Yeah.
Players like that. I think they've got a great opportunity. I personally think that tomorrow's game will be our biggest test, because Denmark are going to be on this roller coaster ride that they've been on. They're in. Laporte's absolutely smashed it.
Has he won it?
No, he's just absolutely like last ditch tackle. Yeah. But
so can go much penalties.
yeah, well, I think tomorrow will be our biggest test. But I think we've got a massive opportunity.
That's it. I agree.
Definitely. I think we've got a bigger opportunity than we did against Croatia, to be honest with you, because I think we've played better in this tournament. We've played better as a squad. The squad's better. We've got so many people that can change the game. So I'm just excited. I'm nervous, but I'm very excited about it. But yeah. So I think that's it really. I think
guys, thank you for listening. If you managed to make it all the way to the end, thanks for joining the We Know Nothing show for this
the first one. 4 weeks later,
and probably the longest one that we'll do, just because we've had so much to catch up on. We will try and knock them out more regular now. We'll do one not long after the Denmark game, before the final, depending on who we do.
Yeah,
doesn't matter that as well. Just to round up the Euros really, and we'll see how it goes, and we might even start a Premier League one. So. That mate, I'll let you go. Thanks very much.
Cheers guys.
See you all soon.